Rell Riley.
What's good?
What's going on, man?
Chillin', brother.
How's your year been so far? When I heard you were at the Stellars this year.
Yeah, man. It was unexplainable. It was real talk. It was an experience that I've never experienced before, and it was a blessing, man. Like, I would hate to try to describe it because it'd just take me too long. It was just great, like beyond great, like the greatest of great.
What did you perform, man? Who did you perform with?
My boy JS from the UK, him and his label, they flew me out to do a song that I did with him called Going In, and honestly, all I did was the hook, and I guess the song is such a hit that he asked his label to fly me all the way out to Vegas just to do a hook, so that's a song that we did, and I was rocking my boy JS. Shout out to him and all the UK rappers out there, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So what type of programs do you use for recording and, just so the people?
I use FL Studio 9. Yeah, man, I say this to people all the time because a lot of people, first of all, people, they're surprised on what I use because people think that I use Pro Tools, but like I said, I use FL Studio 9, and it's really not about the program that you use. It has something to do with your sound, but it's really about your ear. It's about your artistic ability. It's about your talent and you making good music. So it's not in the program, it's in you. So, yep.
A Piece of My Mind too, man.
Yeah.
First of all, A Piece of My Mind 1, Smashing Success.
Yes.
I loved it myself personally. Why is there A Piece of My Mind 2? Did you not get out everything that you wanted to say?
Well, you have to think, man, A Piece of My Mind, the first one dropped in 2013. And it's like life goes on. So the same things that were in my mind back then, they're not the same things that's in my mind now. So I just have more things to get off my chest, more things to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like, music for me is therapeutic, and it's more than just making hits and stuff that people like. But I also think that it's a way to express how you feel. I think that's very important in music because, I know that I'm not the only person who feels the way that I feel. So I feel like if I express what's on my mind, somebody's going to be able to relate to what I'm talking about. So that's why I feel like it was necessary to make A Piece of My Mind Part 2, to keep connecting with the people.
Who you got featuring on there, man? Yeah. Or are you allowed to start that?
No, honestly, bro, this is one of those albums where, like I said, like, I'm expressing my thoughts. So I had features, but not a lot. But I got my boy Jay Monty from Atlanta. I got my boy from Riley Style Records, Boot, of course. And I got the latest artist on Riley Style Records, Filling Drums, on one of my favorite tracks on the album, man. So as far as features, that's pretty much it. And I got one of my bros who's doing a skit, but I ain't gonna say his name. I just let y'all see who it is when you hear his voice. But yeah, man, with the features, I think everything is going to be dope on this album.
How many tracks can we expect?
14.
14. It's a good little set list of songs, man.
Yeah.
So, what's different? Do you like this one better than the last one? What feels different? What's changed in your life dramatically that's real difference?
What's different is time. Like, time happened, and in time things happen. You know what I'm saying? So I can't necessarily say that, oh man, it just sounds so different, and I got these kind of beats and these drums. It's just, the experiences that I'm talking about in this album is different from what you heard in my experiences in the first A Piece of My Mind. I think that it's more in depth because I'm older now. I've gone through more things, and for those people who don't know, I'm a pastor, and for those of you guys who don't know about spiritual warfare, like, I'm facing more attacks. You know what I'm saying? I'm dealing with more mind battles. So you hear all of that in the music, and you actually be exposed to some of the things that I struggle with and things that I fight within myself in this album that I don't really feel like I had a chance to talk about in the first one. In the first one, I think I was just kind of expressing my feelings. But in this one, I'm actually talking about the things that I'm fighting within myself. So I think that's what makes it different. Yeah.
What's to be expected of you after this? Are you gonna take a break? Are you gonna come out with something else? I know you recently released a mixtape.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna keep releasing mixtapes until the next album? Is there gonna be a next album?
Man, you know, it's never and that's the sweet thing about being an independent artist. It's like I can make a move whenever I want to. You know, so it's kind of hard for me to say what's to come in the future. At the current moment, because I worked so hard on this album, I want to take a break. Like, I want to take a long break. But I don't know, man.
You talking like a year?
Bruh, like, honestly, I would love to take a year break, but knowing, like, how much I love music, the love of music is not going to let me take a break. So, I don't know when I'm going to drop my next project, whether it's a mixtape or another album, but I'm going to leave the people with this. A Piece of My Mind Part 2 will be the last album from Rell Riley independently for a while. And when you're not independent anymore, you're going to have to make more music. So I'm just going to leave everybody with that. This is the last independent album that I'm dropping, and so I'm going to have to bring more music in the upcoming future. Yeah.
So what does that mean? I feel like you're speaking in code.
I am speaking in code. And I'm not going to say what it means. I just want people to watch. I'm not going to give out too many details, but it's my last independent project. For a while, at least. Probably forever, but maybe, you know. Yeah.
So how's the pastoring going? How's being married with the son and you know, also doing music, especially considering, you know, the fact that you just released the album and, you know, you got all these things going for you. How does that play out?
Horribly. No, man. Honestly, if I'm understanding your question, how was me putting out music while having a wife and a son? How was that all coming together in my life? Honestly, bro, I think having a wife and a son is what gives me that. Like, it's a huge part of my drive, man. You know, so having them in my life, having them around, doing ministry with them being in my life, man, it's just a huge driving force. Because I look at them knowing that I can't slack. You know, in nothing. I can't slack in my rapping. I can't slack in pastoring. I can't slack in my side hustle. I can't slack in my full-time job. You know, they're just a huge motivation. Yeah.
Before we close out, man, I mean, is there anything you want to say to the people? Is there anything you want them to know? You know?
Something that I would really like people to know, and it's like you don't have to know this, but I guess just as an artist, I want to express this. And I said this on my last mixtape in the outro on King Jack. This upcoming project, A Piece of My Mind Part 2, it sounds nothing like a mixtape. It doesn't sound like my last mixtape. It doesn't sound like what's out now. It don't sound like Kendrick's album. It don't sound like the Migos. It don't sound like nothing, in my opinion. You know, so when you hear this album, all I ask is that you listen to it with an open mind and no expectations, man. I really think that you guys are going to enjoy this. I think that it's going to catch you off guard because I tried to be so different, and I think I was successful at being different, and at the same time still being lyrical, still being relevant, still being relatable, and still being a minister, all in one album. So I'm excited about it. You guys be excited about it, and that's all I have, man.
Well, thank you for your time, man.
Thank you for doing this interview.
Definitely.
Most def.